I guess that ain't bad.
I wanna be I'm trying to be Duval County. I was known for wildin', never known for styling. With that chrome, I'm
Let me see if I got my comments on.
On my buck for nothing, on the block I'm bustin'. How could God forgive a clown? Like killer bees, I'm buzzing in the sea, I'm struggling. Ain't no way to drink this high.
Sandra Ellis, hello. Christopher Martinez.
Could he ever use a clown?
I really wanna be God's man. I really wanna see God's plan.
All right.
I know it's more for me.
Laura, what's going on, man?
Everything you want from me.
Y'all see,
I keep on trying.
my wife ain't put that, she ain't put up, she ain't show y'all that TV up. What's going on, Stefanetta? What's up, Gloria? She ain't tell you that TV put up and how pretty it's put up too. Hey, mama. Turn up.
I'm coming.
All right.
Sun up, I'm running. Turn up, still humming. Your baby boy needing his daddy. What's funny?
So
we playing roles in reverse, so can't blame it on the women.
And so I want to thank y'all. I got while I got some people coming on and logging in right now. What's going on, Laura Renee? Y'all remember that? Hey, Barbara, how you doing? Barbara Bradley. I want to thank God for my lovely wife, Jamila. I want to thank God for her. Avis, how you doing? And so this is the first time I'm using my flip phone to do this. Like, you know, people be laughing at me about my love. I got. What's going on, Jamal? I got one of the new Motorola flip phones. So this is the first time I'm using my little flip phone. It's nostalgic, but it's got all the up to date stuff inside of it. So y'all don't hate on me now. But hey, baby, to go my wife right there. Baby, you need to put the video up. How pretty I put that TV up. That's what you need to do. Oh yeah, you need to do that. And so we've been having some interesting conversations, and I didn't want to miss you guys tonight. I definitely want to miss you guys tonight. And I wanted to talk about a subject that's kind of serious. It's in the moment, but it's definitely serious. And I want to speak from the subject title, "Be for Real." I want to speak on the subject title, "Be for Real." Be for real, like be 100. Don't and I'm talking about with whatever you do, but definitely when it comes to being in relationships, man, be for real. You know, there's a lot of people, and it's been coming up the timeline. And I wanna be as gentle as I can, and I definitely want to say this in a way where I respect everybody. I respect everybody. I respect everyone's opinion. I respect and when I say that about, you know, who you choose to date, who you choose to love, I respect all that. But listen, this is a time where people, it is necessary that you are for real. I want to speak to you men, that it is necessary that you be for real. Just got off the phone with a guy. Guy calls me and he's irate and he's talking about, you know, this woman, and she's doing all kind of crazy stuff. And you know, I've had this conversation with the same guy before. And sometimes you got to just admit that you have a problem. Sometimes you got to admit that you are in love with dysfunction. Sometimes you got to admit, and a lot of people are in relationships and in dysfunctional relationships, and you sticking with it, but you don't even know the reason why you sticking with it. And then it turns out at some point you find out that what you were feeling all the time in the inside was right. I have to question people and ask people, why in the world Do we not? One of the first things I learned, not in the church, one of the first things I learned on the streets was follow your first mind. That's one of the first things I learned on the street. I learned that on the street. That's before I knew what a Holy Ghost was. That's before I knew what a Bible was. I knew I was taught follow your doggone first mind. Why is it that people now don't do that? Good evening, Wendella. Why is it that people don't follow their first mind anymore? And then what's going on, Tayana? And then you get into relationships with people, and then you act like you lost all your sense. How you get in a relationship with somebody, and you let your emotions just overtake you to a point that you don't take none of the warning signs. You don't look at none of the warning signs. You ain't catching none of the warning signs. Listen. So one thing I've been seeing is that now, and I'm gonna say this: whether you're a man, and you like, or you're a man that deal with other men, I'm gonna say that like that, or you're a woman that deal with other women. If you're a man that deals with other men, then why in the world would you go and disrupt some woman's life because you don't want to be real about your own life? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? If you're a woman that deal with other women, why would you try to stay with somebody and disrupt their life? And so this is the thing, what we're seeing right now. It's coming up the timeline. We're in a time right now where that freedom is out there. And it's something that we don't preach against. Listen, love who you love. You have a choice to love who you love, like you want to love, and can't nobody say nothing to you about it. That is real talk. Can't nobody say, but the problem comes when you don't want to be real about who you are. The problem comes when you don't want to admit, or you don't want to live up, thank you, baby, or you don't want to live up to your truth, or you don't want to live your truth, and then you go and you start a relationship with somebody else, and you're not telling them the truth about who you are. As a matter of fact, you're trying to use them. And this goes for and when I'm talking about be for real, I mean be for real. And that's even when I'm talking. That's even with a heterosexual man and a woman. Come on, dude. Come on, lady. If you're not gonna be 100%, if you still want to be out there, and you want to still do the clubs, and you still want to date multiple people, and you want to still do all of this stuff, then do that. But it's heartbreaking when you see people that put on a facade. They come in front of you, and you know, sometimes I have to catch the looks on my face. I'm not really good all the time at my facial structure telling the truth, right? Because I look at somebody and they say, well, I'm married. And then you look at him and the dude say he married, and you see his wife, but then you see him eyeballing everything else. You see him wilding, or you got stories, and it's something that's got to change. And I really want this to hit some man that's been, and as a matter of fact, it's definitely some man that's been dealing with men, but you trying to date women because you trying to hide. You're a man that deal with men, but you trying to date a woman because you want to hide. No, it's not about you. It's not about who you date. That ain't got nothing to do with it. It's about you not living your truth. And because you're not living your truth, and you putting up, TT, because you putting up a facade and you faking, you destroying people's life. You destroying people's life, man. This is a time where you can be free. Same thing with women that deal with other women. Why in the world would you start dating a man, and why in the world would you try to date another man, and you keep acting like, and this is when you hear ain't no man no good from women that deal with other women. Of course ain't no man gonna be no good. He ain't no good to you. He'll never be no good to you because he can't be no good to you. You understand me, right? This is a time right now. We're in a time, it's 2021. You got children that are at stake. You got families that's at stake. You got relationships that are at stake. And this is when it has to change. This is when it has to change. People are out here right now hurt and broken because they finding out in other ways that people that said they were something and they're not who they are. The one thing about me, I remember I was in Jacksonville, and my wife was she was here in Charlotte, and I heard we were talking, and I heard it in her voice, and I heard it in her voice because she's been a woman. She has been a self-sufficient, strong woman most of her whole life, all of her life, really, right? And I heard it in her voice that running, like I'm finna run away. And I remember because we was laughing about it today. I told her, I was on the phone, I said, go ahead on, and I said, go ahead on and keep your spiritual proverbial shoes on. I said, I'm going to make you take those shoes off. Keep those shoes on. I said, I know. I said, it sound like to me you want to run. I said, keep your proverbial spiritual shoes on because I'm going to make you take them off. Now, let me tell you what she did first right. She kept her spiritual shoes on. She kept her guard up. She kept watching out. It wasn't that she wanted the bottom to drop out, but she wasn't finna drop all her awareness. She wasn't finna drop all her discernment down because she met me. She didn't do that. And some of you right now, you need to before you just trust somebody, you need to keep your proverbial shoes on and be ready to run or to walk away or to whatever and to prove. What I was saying to my wife is that time will prove who I am. Because too many of you are trying to let people prove who they are. And so because you let them prove it, or you let them what they say out their mouth prove who they are, and sometimes they lying and you believe it and you don't sit back. So when you're listening to all these words coming out of their mouth and you believe in them, you letting your walls down. You letting them down. And then later on you're heartbroken. And you're heartbroken now because you didn't listen to that thing in the inside of you. See, one thing that I saw with the way that my wife handled us and the way that we dated and the way that we built relationship, I ain't never tried to tell her to take no walls down. I sure didn't. And the reason why I didn't do it is because I knew time. Time proves everything. Time proves what type of character a person is. Time proves what type of proclivities a person has. Time proves whether the person is impatient or patient. Time proves everything. You can say what you want out of your mouth, but I'm going to let time define who you are. And what some of you did and the reason why you failed, somebody, Laura Torre, says, why some of you fail for the okie doke is because you didn't let time prove it. You made love a couple of times, and I'm going to tell you something. People that deal with other people, whether it's man and woman, or whatever that may be, they're able to have relationships with other people. It's their heart. It's their heart, and it's what they want. It's their desire that ain't going to never change. I'm sorry. I know for some of y'all there's some bad news. But no, you can't change him. You ain't going to be able to change him. You know why? Because his desire says something else. It's the desire. It's the inward desire that proves who a person is. The inward desire will make you know who you're supposed to be with. The inward desire. And there's too many people that's out to try to turn a man. There's too many of you dudes think that you can turn them. Let me tell you something. If she says she like women, then you got to believe her. And listen, as crazy as this may sound right now, as crazy as this may sound to some of you right now, there is some man out there right now believing that he can turn somebody from what their desire is because he believes that he has enough love to do it. Can I tell you that you don't? No, you don't. You don't have enough. Because it's not about how much you can love a person. When a person is not whole, there is nothing that you can do about it to make them whole when they have decided in their own mind what they're going to do. I need you to get this. I need you to hear this. Be for real. Be for real. You got to stand and you got to be all right with what time teaches. You got to be absolutely all right with what time teaches, because you will walk with a person. So now let me give you an example. You first get with them, they walk a certain way. Let's even make an example as if that they fake the way that they walk because they don't want you to know that they got a limp. So they fake the way that they walk. At some point, you're going to see that limp. At some point, it'll be revealed. At some point, but what you ladies have to stop doing, what you gentlemen have to stop doing, is you got to stop rushing it. I put no rush on us. Now, I'm going to tell you what I did do. I knew she was my wife, and I did tell her she was my wife. I told her that. But I let time reveal who I was. Because if I feel, if the first time somebody say, trust me, you better watch out. You better put that in the caption. If the dude say, trust me, then that's a sign for you to watch out. If the lady say, if the woman say, trust me, and y'all, hold on. See, one thing about a person that's trustworthy, they really don't speak on the word trust, because they already walk with trust, and they know that at some point you'll trust them just because they're trustworthy. They don't have to say trust me. When somebody say trust me, it's because too many times somebody done already told them that they was untrustworthy. I need you to know that. So no, I want you to know you can't change them. And let me get back to what I first said. Please start listening to your first mind again. You feel something when they come in the room. Something happens when they come in the room, right? You know, when you get in the midst of them, something starts. You know, you get some inkling. You know, something feels wrong. You mean to tell me you're not gonna obey none of that? You're not gonna pay attention to any of that? Like, you just you're going to throw off all of this warning just so you can have a good night with somebody that's going to walk away and you can feel it. You know. Why am I doing this? Oh, listen, the Lord wants you to be whole. And he wants you to stop saying you got your heart broke because ... And he wants you to hear now, listen, warning does come before destruction. And I have warned you several times, and I've shown you, and watch this, your inner discernment is showing you who this person is. I want to say something. But when you have one of your friends or your family, they'll come and say, is she? And they say, is he? Or they say, is he married? Is she? When people from the outside kind of have, somebody put that up there, the intuition about somebody, and they see it, they had an intuition about it, and they say something to you, don't get mad with them. You might need to pay attention to what they're saying. There are a lot of people that would not be in divorce court if they would have listened to the people that were speaking to them. It's real simple. When you feel something, when your first mind, you just came in contact with this joker. You just came in contact with this joker. I have to disagree. You know what? I have to disagree with people that say, I didn't know. I didn't know. And you talking about people that know the Lord? I didn't know. Nothing showed me. No, baby, that ain't the God we serve. See, the God that I serve, the Bible says it like this. He said, he that covereth his sin shall not prosper. That's what our Bible say. Our Bible say, he that covereth his sin shall not prosper. You know what that means? That means that they trying to do something, at some point, somebody going to see it. That's what our Bible say. And because, no, baby, you didn't want to believe what you felt because you wanted what you wanted too much. I'm going to say that again. You did not want to believe what you felt because you wanted what you wanted too much. And so you could feel, you kind of knew that this dude wasn't all the way into you and was kind of into some other things. Or you knew that this woman wasn't fully into you, you know, and you can tell she wanted. Don't you know, people that have alternative lifestyles, they get mad, they get upset with people, with men and women that go over and try to persuade other people of the opposite sex that they're not like that, because it brings a frowning upon, it brings an even greater frown upon the life that they're trying to the truth that they're trying to live. And tonight, some of you need to live your own. You need to live your truth. Free some people up. Get free so some other people can get free. Let your and listen, if your intuition is telling you that you see this, baby, you better believe it. I hate to tell you, and I'm not. Listen, I'm not a man that want to be raunchy or nasty, but you ain't got nothing that's gonna be able to change that. Nothing. A man or a woman are always gonna follow their inner desire, and they gonna find it. And right now, I will say this, for the house of the living God, there are too many men that are living fraudulent lifestyles and breaking up homes because they won't live their truth. I can respect a man, love brothers, love the sisters that live their truth, because they live their truth. But them jokers that's under, them jokers that's hiding, them jokers that's breaking up homes, them jokers, no, that ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right. And so be for real. Be for real. Same thing when it comes to men. That's, you keep telling this woman you're gonna marry her. It done been 7 years now. Some of this her fault. Because after a man know what he want, a man know what he want. I'm sorry, sisters. After so long, but bruh, come on now. Why you won't keep telling the woman that you're gonna marry her and you ain't finna marry her? You ain't got no intentions on marrying her. If you had intentions on marrying her, you'd have been married her. But what has happened is life and convenience have brought y'all together, and y'all have put so much stuff together in your convenient lifestyle and your play relationship, that now you don't know how to, now you don't want to get out of it. And as long as she'll hold off and not marrying her, or getting you, or stopping you from marrying her, or whatever, you're going to keep on going with it. It's time for you to be for real. Be for real about your relationship. Be for real about who you love. Be for real about who you don't love. Be for real. We are in a time where people are taking, and listen, I got to say this like this, and I normally wouldn't say this, but we're in a time where people are taking other people's lives because they are heartbroken and because they've been devastated so many times. You never know what position or what you're finna be in around here playing with somebody, and you don't know their mind state. I give you stern warning tonight. Be for real. Say what you need to say. If you need to walk away, walk away. If you need to walk away, walk away. If you want to make it real, then tell them everything and admit to everything that was done, and then see if you can fix it. If you can fix it, then praise the Lord. But you that really don't like women, and you that really don't like men, but you're committed to a relationship because your family see, and because you really don't want nobody to know what your desire really is, shame on you. Shame on you. You making everything bad for everybody else because everybody ain't got that type of mindset. It's time for you to be for real about your life. I encourage you tonight, whoever you are, man or woman, whatever your desire is, that ain't what this about. Live your truth so somebody else don't have to be broken. So some child ain't got to be broken. So some family ain't got to be broken. For somebody don't have to be broken and messed up. Live your truth. My wife talking about the skeeters. They sure lie here, baby. I love you guys. We at UCI, my wife and I, Jamila Gooden, we love you. And we're going to always tell you the truth. This is Pastor Fred, God's man on deck. We want the best for you. Now, be for real about everything you're doing. God bless you. Good night.